Welcome, lab rats. This is the fourth lab for our basic anatomy course. That's right, this is the last lab and it is one of my favorites. This is the frog dissection. And the reason it's one of my favorites is because when you open up this frog, you're going to notice that the organs inside of this frog are very similar to the organs inside of us. So let's go ahead and take a look at our lesson plan and see how we can get started talking about the background of a frog. So first of all, the frog is an amphibian. That's right, it's an amphibian, very similar to a reptile. But an amphibian means that it not only lives in water, but it can also live on land. That's one of just the basic characteristics of an amphibian. Frogs are also vertebrates, which means, like us, they have a vertebrae. They have bones in their body, just like us. And the habitat of a frog is a wide variety of places. Like I said before, an amphibian could live in water or it could live on land. That means you might find frogs in your grass. You might find it in the water, in the streams, in the lakes, in the ponds. You might find it in the trees, like our tree frog in the rainforest. Lots of different habitats that frogs have become adjusted to and adapted to. Frogs are also carnivores. That doesn't mean that they're actually going to go out and eat a cow, but they are more like insectivore. They like to eat insects. And I've actually found that one of the frogs that I dissected actually had a mouse inside of it. So not only just insectivore, but it could actually eat something else if it's hungry enough. I know, pretty crazy, a mouse. Hopefully you don't find that inside of yours. That was pretty crazy. These guys are also predators of prey, like insects or, like I said, a mouse, but they also have predators that would want to eat them. So think about things that might want to eat a frog. Can you think of any? So you might want to think about things that might live near the water, like coyotes or raccoons, possums, maybe some larger birds, snakes. Those kind of things might want to eat a frog. But since they have predators, they probably want to have some ways to defend themselves. So, can you think of some ways that they might want to defend themselves? One of the ways when I'm coming up to a frog and I try to reach out and grab it, what's the first thing it's going to want to do? That's right, it's going to want to jump away from you. So take a look at this video right here. You're going to see that this frog has an amazing ability to be able to jump long distances. 2, 3, 4, maybe 10 times the length of its own body. It has amazing hind legs that are perfect for jumping. Very, very long legs that are much longer than their front arms. Let's take a look at the next video. This one, let's just listen for a second. Wow. That frog, if you think about ways that it can defend itself, you can see right up there on the screen that it was a poison dart frog. And some ways that you can find out if an animal is poisonous by its color. That one had a very bright orangey red color, which in nature, if you have very bright colors, it sometimes means that you are poisonous. The frog that you have in front of you is not a poison dart frog. And actually, it has more of a camouflage to it. That's another defense that it would have compared to the poison dart frog that is going to try to warn its predator, don't eat me, I have poison. And if you think about that noise that it was making, anybody know why it was making that noise? It wasn't for defense, it was actually more of a mating call. In frogs, the only gender that actually makes that mating call is the males. I know the males are the only ones that sing. The men are the ones that sing in the frogs. The women are the ones that listen. You know, that sounds kind of opposite to humans, but the frogs, the males sing and the women go and look for the male that has the most beautiful singing voice. Pretty cool, huh? Let's take a look at this next video.
Beep in the kicker. It's all super.
That is super amazing. So this frog is very scared. He's scared of this cat and what this cat and this human might do to him. So in defense, you can notice he puffed himself up to make him look even bigger. That is one way to try to deter a predator from trying to eat it. But you'll also notice that this was probably a female frog because she wasn't making a normal sound that a frog makes. It was actually just breathing, squeaking stuff out of its lungs in an attempt to try to scare off its predator. So it was making sounds and also puffing itself up the best that it could. Pretty amazing way to defend itself.